Good morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Happy Saturday. This is Joel the Nose, and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to do a full review of the Italian parfum unisex by the name of Accento from the house of Xerjoff, the Italian house. Now, I have with me actually what I have been using is a little decant, which I got from my favorite local perfumery, Osme in Wynwood here in Miami, where I get all of my great samples. And go see Maurice there, he's amazing. I will put up a picture later. I've taken some pictures of the bottle, maybe you've seen it. It's a beautiful presentation, all Xerjoff bottles are. It comes in a purple felt, wrapped around the bottle, so I'll put up a picture later. Beautiful presentation just to start off with. Little basic facts. I like to start out my reviews kind of in a little basic facts about the house, the perfume, then I go into the review, and then finally a summary. So if you don't know, Xerjoff again is an Italian niche brand, very high-end luxury. The creative director, founders Sergio Momo, again very respected, very famous, excellent perfumer, and he created. This is interesting. Accento was first created in 2011, but it was under a different brand under Xerjoff, which was called Sospiro, and the Sospiro line just recently in 2019. They decided, for whatever reason, branding, marketing reasons, decided to bring the Sospiro line just back into the entire Xerjoff brand. So all those Sospiro fragrances like Accento are now just Xerjoff. So when you search online, maybe you're going to see different reviews or different things. You may be confused. That's what happened. So this year, 2019, they basically just eliminated the Sospiro line and brought everything back under the Xerjoff branding name. So technically this is now a new release in 2019, Accento, but it really has been around for about 8 years, since 2011. Now the noses behind Accento are Christian Carbonnel and Laura Santander. These are the two, so if you want to check them out, and I'll put this information down in my comments below, just so I know some people like to follow up and research and follow on their own some of this information, so you can check out other fragrances that they've created, because if obviously this is something you really like, you're going to want to go check out what other things that they've done to see if maybe you have interest. I find this is one of the best ways to really experiment and find new fragrances, is when you see something you really like, find out who that perfumer is, find out who the nose is behind it, and then go check out their other stuff, and maybe you can find some symmetry there. So that's the background on Xerjoff and the story behind how Accento came to us now. Again, this was technically a new fragrance in 2019. Accento would be what we classified as a Chypre. That is the classification of the fragrance. Chypre typically is going to be a fragrance built around a woody base, typically Vetiver, Patchouli, and then on the top notes, a lot of times you can mix different things. Typically it's going to be more citrusy, but really the main feature is going to be a woody base. And even though this is a unisex, fragrance, typically Chypres are going to be more towards better for a man, but really it depends on the person. An example of a very famous Chypre would be Creed Aventus, just to give you an example to compare. Okay, now let's get into the actual review of Accento. I have worn this now 4 times from the, again, decant that I got. And so I've really gotten some good experience with this, and I think a really good full review that I can give here. When you first put it on, and actually let me go over what the company and what basically the notes that are listed, so you have an idea of what you're supposed to expect. The top notes listed are pineapple and hyacinth. The mid notes or the heart notes listed are jasmine, iris, and pink pepper. And then the base notes, and this is where the Chypre really comes out, are vetiver, patchouli, amber, musk, and vanilla. So that's what's listed. Again, everyone has different, this is why fragrance reviews are so interesting, because everyone gets a totally different sense. So when I put on this for the first time, and the few times I've worn it since, I get absolutely no pineapple. I mean, I know Creed Aventus, that's, one of its primary, scents and smells you get right out of the box. I don't get that at all here. I don't know. It must be just such a small element, but it wasn't just me. I've had a number of people then smell it on me, and no one got pineapple. So it'd be interesting. I do see some reviews online where people mention that, and I don't know what is going on. Again, that's the wonderful thing about everyone having different senses of smell and olfactory senses and sensations. But having said that, I did not get that. So I got a very strong sense of, again, I guess it would be more of a, to me, it's more of a, probably a hyacinth, which is kind of gives me that powdery smell. I also get a lot of jasmine. That jasmine, which is in the mid, is something that basically stays with me throughout the entire, from the top to the bottom. And I get, this is for me not a very complex perfume. Again, I have no problem with that. I like, fragrances that stay the same throughout. I like ones that change consistently, like a good piece of music. But either way, it depends on what you like. I found this one to be pretty consistent throughout the entire day, and it does last all day. But it's more of a jasmine-y, powdery, almost a little metallic smell for me, which I guess comes across to me as a little synthetic. And I would say that, again, obviously there's a lot of synthetics in here. I love synthetics. I also love all natural fragrances, but this one does come across to me as a little too synthetic. Maybe that's probably the powdery sensation. And again, try it and see how you feel about it. When it goes into the mid notes, again, the jasmine, I did get a little pink pepper, or I don't know if I'd call it pink pepper. I got a little kind of a spicy note really after about the hour mark of wearing this. And then when it kind of goes into the mid, you really, again, that jasmine is strong throughout. The vetiver, the patchouli, I definitely get that. Now, what I did to test this is I went to my office after I sprayed this, or after I had applied it. I didn't spray it with the decant. I actually applied it, with my fingers. After a couple hours, and I had 3 women in my office who always give me their impressions. They smelled it, and their first impression was they thought this was very manly, interestingly. The first person said they thought it actually smelled like alcohol. And I think, again, that's kind of because of that powdery and metallic that I get, but thought it smelled like alcohol and woodsy. So obviously this is a Chypre, and those base notes of the vetiver and the patchouli come out. Second person who also smelled it said didn't get the alcohol, but definitely got the woodsy element. So again, this Chypre vetiver-based wood is really coming out for a number of people. And then the last person actually said it was, again, manly and musky. And all 3 of them liked it. They all liked this on me. They all liked it on what they think would be a more masculine scent. So I thought that was, again, very interesting. For me, all those were kind of also true. And the very first time I wore it, I got a distinct vanilla in the dry down. The last 2 times I've worn this, I've tried to get that vanilla smell, and I've really kind of, really focused on it, and for some reason it's not coming out to me as more. But I did get it the first time I wore it. So just, an interesting note. I'd be like to see how, those of you who have taken a chance to wear this, whether you get that vanilla note, because to me, I didn't really get it. Anyways, that's the review. Well, and actually, let me go on the performance. Performance was strong all day. The projection is good for about 2 hours. I could smell it the rest of the day really on me, probably maybe within 12 inches or so. It wasn't projecting out much more than that, but I could, throughout the day as I turned, as I did things, and I would catch a waft. So it lasted a good 8 hours strong on my skin. And it was still tight to my skin even 10, 12 hours later. So the performance is very good. Obviously, Xerjoff is a high quality Italian house. So Accento is, it's no surprise that this is a excellent performing fragrance. So my conclusion or summaries. Accento, again, it is Xerjoff brand, Italian brand, high-end luxury, beautiful bottle with the felt wrapping. It is a Chypre woodsy base that is not going to be very complex. It's going to give you that kind of jasmine-y, woody smell throughout. It's a little bit synthetic smelling to me. It is something that I've tried now 3 or 4 times. I like it. I don't love it for me. That's for me. Again, it's, you know, a beautiful fragrance. I would suggest getting a sample if you want to try this, you know, where you can get one at your local store. Try it out, see if you like it. You're going to get good performance, I think, out of it. It's really just a question of whether that kind of powdery, metallic, kind of synthetic smell is something that suits your skin well. For my chemistry and for my body composition, it's just not the best. I hope you found this review very helpful, useful. And if you did, please leave some comments, questions, anything you want to know. If you liked what I did, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And you can ring the bell so you can get notifications. And I hope you have a great weekend. I really thank you for taking your time to spend any of it with me here watching my channel. And God bless everyone. This is Joel the Nose signing out from Miami. Have a great day.